So I'm sitting here with the director of South Downs Cricket, South Downs College in Irene, Floris du Plooy. Thanks for joining us on IXU On Air, obviously with a regular that you've seen, Luther, myself, and Mr. Tyrone.
Hi guys.
Thank you for having me. Really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
No, it's super cool to sit here. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of noise because we're watching the final of the tournament that you have arranged. So please just tell us a bit about the South Downs College Night League. Where did it come about? Why did you start? Where did the idea come from, and why did you start?
Yeah, so obviously the idea was to give exposure to the smaller cricketing schools, if we can call it that. And it's just a privilege and an honor to have it. This is our second year. So last year was a successful tournament, and we obviously just wanted to grow. That's why we approached you guys as well at IXU to make sure that we get this thing going, steamrolling it next year even bigger. Yeah. So this is just to expose more kids to cricket, and see where talent comes from. You never know where these lads might end up.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. And you speak about smaller schools and that, but I think we've seen some incredible talent here. One boy at 13 years old scoring 250 in a 20-over match.
The steam train.
We have to give a shout out. What's his name? Dylan.
Dylan Creer, from Tiger Valley. Yeah,
remember the name.
Incredible.
Yeah, no,
so we say, smallest, but obviously it shows that giving the opportunities to these kids, it makes a difference, and it allows for boys to stand out no matter what. So
that's exactly why we designed this tournament, and it gives the guys exposure to play on the lights as well. You never at a primary school level just play on the lights, and this is exactly why it's designed for these guys to shine. When they go off to whichever high school they do, they have played cricket on the lights, they have been exposed, so it's good. It's always good.
100%.
Just a wicket taken.
Get die van Heineken nie, né?
Horiso Floris,
Yes.
so what's next for the tournament? Next year, obviously we want to grow, but is there any ideas that you can give us maybe that, or is there some ideas that you can tell us about that you have for next year's tournament?
Yeah, so we're trying to include more teams. That's the first thing I'm going to look at. Try and make it bigger with more teams. Maybe take it from 4 to 6. We just have to obviously work around our schedule in terms of starting it earlier and those things, but that's something we look at. And obviously you guys, getting you more involved. I mean, this was a look-feel thing for us this year, and I have to say that IXU have been good for us. I mean, that whole idea of bringing the ball onto the field, it's fantastic. It's really good initiatives. So I have to give you guys credit as well, and all the others guys. Yeah, it's really fantastic.
Stay tuned on all our social media platforms for the footage.
Yeah, the video is going to look super awesome.
It's lekker.
No, and obviously, okay, we're talking about cricket, we're talking about the event. What I want to zoom in on a little bit, I mean, obviously, these kids are being exposed to all this branding and the lights and whatever. So what do you think it means, value-wise, for these kids to be exposed to this? I mean, what does it do to a 12, 13-year-old? I mean, you've got 11-year-olds, if I'm not mistaken, in your team. What does it do to them going forward, being exposed to that value-wise? Do you think it makes them better cricketers? Do you think it makes them better young men when they go through being exposed to all of this, because they are being treated as professionals? I mean, really, I've experienced this tournament. It's very professional, so I can imagine that the kids are also feeling that.
Yeah, no, definitely. So the whole thing for us, like we said, starting this is the whole brand of this, is the cricket culture, the way we coach. Obviously having different schools here, get a feeling of how those coaches do things, and giving a professional platform for them to play, and playing against different other skill sets and things like that. That will always grow a different player, and you get your batsmen to shine here. You get them to play different bowlers and things like that. So setting them up for this, like I said, they can go into the high school and say, look, I've been playing a lot of cricket at my primary school, and it just exposed them for more cricket. And I feel that's where we get lost in the system sometimes, is we don't play enough cricket, and longer versions as well, to give these guys opportunities to really play cricket and have fun.
So, sorry to interrupt there, but I wanted to ask you your favorite moment of the tournament. My favorite moment was obviously when Dylan scored that 256 runs. But
Yeah,
I
that
want
was
to ask
incredible.
you,
I mean, yeah.
because your team's really
What a
good.
knock.
Yes.
I mean, there's Matthew Best.
Yeah.
There's his brother Bradley.
Yes.
There's the captain Liam. These kids are exceptional. Baron, the spinner, I know he took 3 wickets today. So, what was your favorite moment of the tournament so far?
Yeah, I have to say to see a knock like that is exceptional. So it's got to be
In
one
any
of the
age
moments.
group,
Yeah.
any-
Even if he's
to-
not in your team.
to score 200 in a T20 is exceptional.
Yeah.
You have to say that's got to be one of the moments of the whole tournament. And then for us, we had up and downs in the tournament. So our first win on day 2, that gave the guys good confidence. So it's good moments for us. I have to say there's some good catches taken. So those small moments in cricket, that's really what steps up for me.
Yeah.
So a big thing in a sports team is how the teammates interact with each other and how they bounce ideas and have discussions with each other, and that it's especially from a junior level growing up, bouncing ideas off of their friends and speaking about the game, trying to come up with strategies and stuff is quite crucial. It helps with the development and learning process. From you as a coach, watching your team and the other teams interact with each other and have conversations with each other and listening to what they say.
I'm sorry, that was bold plum. That was like solid.
Clean. Gun.
I'm
That was
so
a gun
sorry.
ball.
That was a gun ball.
It's pretty cool to be doing a podcast while watching a game.
Yes,
I
yes.
think isn't this the first one you guys do live?
Yes,
Cricket
it's
match?
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Just shout out to the camera woman, Rita. That was amazing. Thank you.
To add on your questions and things, for us it's all about creating cultures and teams. These days you get so many different boys coming from different areas and backgrounds, and to intertwine those boys to learn from each other, to experience different things on the field. They go through adversity together, they go through triumphs together. And those are the small things you really get into your team to build that cricket culture. And that's the way I coach as well, is you really need to work on a person's talent, especially when they're alone, but when they play as a team, it all comes together.
Yes, that
and
culture
that's
that they
exactly that culture we talk about. And this program started 3 years ago at South Downs, and we really want to grow the program here, especially that culture, the respect for the game, the respect for your elders, the respect for the team on the field. It all comes down to the small stuff, and I think that at the end makes your team a better team.
Definitely.
On the field as well.
Do you feel that a tournament like this leading into the second phase of the season will help instill that confidence in the players that you need?
Definitely. So that's exactly that. You play more cricket. It's 4 days in a row, so you play a lot of cricket. And then in the next season or the next phase in the season, the league cricket, this gives the guys confidence. I mean, the white ball, the IXU ball, it's like off the bat. You can hear it. It's like a gunshot.
It's a lovely ball that you can get at IXUsport.com. I'm sorry.
www.ixusport.com.
Yeah, you can get the match balls there. It's quite decent balls. I have to say, to add on that, the equipment we play with here is fantastic. It's and it's young guys, and it's a young tournament. It's the second year, like I said. But to have you guys on board, it's really fantastic.
No, it's great being here. We are also being exposed to a lot of new things. When we get together at the office, we always talk about, you can't compare the tournaments, really. If we have to put Fasken against the IXU InterVarsity versus this, it's miles apart.
You
and
won't
it's so
get
cool.
a result.
Yeah.
That's all unique in its own way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I mean, it comes down to the different age groups that are competing against each other, the different formats that are being played.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's so amazing, and it shows the variety and the scope that cricket has.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to make this, we're trying to expose it more throughout the country and get more kids to be watching and wanting to play. I'm sure the little kids that are watching their brothers play on the field are screaming at their parents saying, hey, we want to be on the field and that. So you can't compare, you'll never get a result.
Yeah.
But that's exactly that. So when I started this tournament, it's about having it for the first teams, that culture. But the first thing these guys ask you when they're selected for the first team is not when the league starts, or it's like, when's the day night? That's all they want to know. The younger guys are seeing it, and the reason why I keep it only to the first teams is to keep it unique. It's really to add that value for a boy. Yes, for that boy to say, I really want to play in the first team, to play in this tournament, and it just adds that value to each net session, to each session we have on the field, each league game. The boys want to perform to be in this league. I mean, if you take that 11-year-old in our team, we had a withdrawn from one of our under 13s, and he's the one kid that in the league put up his hand to say, look, I'm here, I want to play. So, and that's exactly why he's selected. Is these guys really want to play in this league, and they show their hand in the nets and the games they play. So it's fantastic.
No, it's definitely great exposure. I want to know also just a little bit deeper dive. If you, obviously a win is amazing, that feeling and triumph is awesome. When you do get a loss or someone is bowled out, what is the process when you engage with that individual, that kid, or with the team? How do you handle it? Obviously you're a coach, so I know sometimes you just go, but obviously after the initial anger is gone, what do you chat to them about in those moments? We want to pick your brain on that. How do you treat them?
So again, each individual, each kid is their own. The first thing for me is to know your team, to know each player's background, to delve deep into that in the beginning of the season, to know who you can chat in a certain way, to say, okay, we really need to push hard. If there was a day where he didn't score or he failed, I always believe that in that moment you're not really focusing on that bad moment. You really focus on the successes he had, and then you pick their brain. You're not the coach where you tell him what to do. You really want to find out what his choice was. To say, awesome. Why did we play that shot? What was your thought process? Because you really need to understand where they come from as well. I mean, if the guy was up from fine leg and he wanted to play a scoop, for example, and he went out, I mean, the idea is there. Maybe it's just the way we played the shot. So it's always picking the brain and not telling them what to do. So you really want to focus on what they were thinking and the thought process, and then you build on the basics from there. You say, okay, so I like the idea. Then we speak about positioning and things like that. That's the way you go, especially on failures. Okay. You don't want to bang on a kid and say you need to do this and this and this, and so it's really finding out from them and learn from them as well. As a coach, you never stop learning. The players these days impress you so much. You learn a lot from them.
I couldn't believe when I saw how these 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-olds could bat, because they get coaching. They're absolutely amazing. So, but I wanted to ask you, where did your love for the game start? Because I can see as a coach you're passionate. Where does the passion come from? Where did it start? Because I remember the first time I picked up cricket batting. I just want to know from you, where did your passion start?
Yeah, it's the same. I think we're not a big cricket family, but my dad always used to watch the matches, and I think from a young age playing mini cricket, I think that's where most dreams start. I played cricket a lot, and then in grade 11 I had the opportunity to be part of a clinic, but not playing wise, just to go help out and hit some balls and see what other coaches do to youngsters. It was a primary school team, and I think the love for coaching started there, but the love for cricket has always been from a young age. I mean, my ultimate hero will always be Sean Pollock. The days when I grew up, I wanted to be an all-rounder. I turned out to be a keeper. So, life changes so much, but the passion for cricket started at a young age, and coaching, I think would say grade 11, and straight after matric started coaching, and never stopped from there. It's something that just grows and grows, and the passion. Sometimes you get too passionate.
No, but keep on.
That's the thing.
You're a good coach, and
thanks.
The bits I've seen of you and Kempi doing, like speaking to the kids, telling them where to be in the field, was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed how you can see that there's a connection with the team and the coaches. There's not a disconnect, and that's what you want in any team sport.
Definitely.
And I think that's so crucial as well. When you watch the way that the coaches stand on the field, watching their players, you I mean, from each team, the passion, but also the care that the coaches have for the kids. You really are the child's coach, dad coach, if you will.
Custodian, if you
You know, sporting father figure, if you will.
Yeah.
But to see the enthusiasm and the care that the coaches have for the kids, it's a positive thing to see, because obviously it is the future of our country's generations, and to see that effort being put in and that care and effort for the kids being put in is honestly incredible, and it gives us hope for the future that we'll produce a couple more ABs and Sean Pollocks and Jacques Cullises.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you nailed it spot on there, the care factor of the player in the game. I mean, you never want to take the love out of the game. And that's why we're so passionate around the field and on the field. And when we have our net sessions, you really, at a primary school level, already do such a professional work where you have board sessions. You have boards next to the nets to say, which shots do we play where, here's the field placements, where's the areas where we can score, where can we rotate. It's the way we think about the game, and I think that's where the care factor comes in. These boys feel the energy from the coach, and I feel that's very important for all coaches out there. If you're energetic, the kids breed from that, so they feel that energy, and they will definitely then go out there and say, look, we have to perform. Look at our coach, he's energized, he's ready. If you're ready as a coach, your boys will go out there and just give everything they can for you.
For sure. Definitely. And I think you're one of the first people that they run to when they do well and succeed. Their parents and their coach, because I remember as a kid as well, I wanted to make my coaches proud of that. So exactly like you say, if your energy and enthusiasm is there, it's going to make it that will of the child to want to impress you, to want to make you happy, because you've put the time and effort in, and they want to display the results of that for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So we started a little habit in the podcast where we get the previous guest to ask the next guest a question. Our previous guest was the amazing Dave Nosworthy. Really great interview with him. It was really cool chatting with him. If you haven't seen it, go and watch episode 8 and then come back to this one. But he asked, so his question is, what was your most brilliant moment in your cricketing career, or in your career as a whole?
Sporting career,
in your sporting career.
Yeah, geez. Let's start with myself and then coaching wise, because I think this was also about coaching and things. So I think your first 100 or your first century will always stand out. It was a day-night game. I was in grade 11, smashing my first 100. I know it's late in your career, but I had to work hard to get there, and I think that learns you to build that foundation as a coach. And to see these youngsters already hitting 100s, 200s, and you only smashed it in grade 11 is that feeling of, that's the reason why we coach, is to get these youngsters to get that ultimate feeling of, wow. I mean, to hit 100 is big, especially in T20s. I mean, you don't have a lot of balls, so these guys these days, with the bats, IXU bats, they really hit it hard. They really hit it hard. So no, it's like so that will be one of my biggest moments. And in playing Premier League cricket, making your debut in a big league is always good. So those are my sporting moments. And in coaching, I would say last year at South Downs, we really had such a successful season, winning leagues, winning the Stadsbeker, winning this event. That will definitely stand out. And coaching professional players, so you get youngsters where you coach them and you see them making provincial teams. Those are big moments for a coach, and it's not like you take the pride of that. It's like you see that kid and the feeling they see, the face that smiles. So when one of your players you coach makes a provincial team, that's big moments for me.
I think that's a very good both of your little things that you highlighted out of your career. The 100 is spectacular. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to stay out there and really dig deep, especially in those nervy moments nearing the 50, nearing the 100. And I think very crucial what you say about a coach there. It shows that care and the time and effort put in for the boys. And it's nice that you highlighted that, because it's easy to look back on your own career and think about yourself. But as you get older and you start putting more time and effort into other people, it's nice to highlight those moments out.
Definitely.
I haven't even scored 100 yet. Julle praat van 100
So before we close off, what question do you want to ask the next guest? And we're not revealing the next guest, just to make it a bit,
Spicy.
to make it spicy. You can
Yeah.
ask like,
We're adding that
On the-
IXU spice.
Yeah,
yes,
you,
yes.
You put me on the spot, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many questions. I would say, what have you done in your career that changed someone else's
That's a great question.
life?
It's a great question.
Solid. That's
good
cool.
question.
Yeah. I'm looking forward
Looking
to the
forward
next
to
guest,
asking that.
whoever it is.
Good luck.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this week at your school. Thank you very much for your hospitality. I want to thank the parents as well. They've been absolutely amazing. Is there anything else?
South Downs College, Floris put in a lot of effort, but for the school welcoming us here and taking us and
hats
making us a
off.
part of their family, we thank the school and Floris
Yeah, so
specifically.
I just want to end off here to say thank you to you guys. I mean, we started early this year where we had chats with you guys and say, this is the dream I had at the school, and you guys said from day one we want to be part of this, and the efforts you guys put into this, all the sponsors, the balls, the kids love it. The way you took the ball onto the field, it's small things that becomes big moments for these kids. So from IXU, thank you for all the stuff you do for us here, and hopefully next year bigger, better. We just want to grow with you guys and make it such a successful tournament.
No, thank you very much. I think from our side as well, it's the start of a good little relationship, and each year we want to go from strength to strength, and so we look very forward to creating bigger moments and improving and finding new ways to do innovative things and make it special for the boys and for the coaches and for anyone involved with us. So thank you very much.
So thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Awesome.